Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today, let me just zoom this in now I have a chance. Version 5 just dropped. I assume version 5 is dropping early because they did say the servers were being closed, I believe tomorrow, or they already have, I'm not too certain. So there's not much after this, right? I believe the beta for this ends pretty damn soon if it doesn't already end. And then we're gonna be leading into the creator, like the early access for them, which is basically like a version 6, but usually nothing really happens there. I can't think of a time where they made any big changes to creator early access, like any major changes. So this is like the last big update that anything big can happen. Again, I don't expect anything to happen outside maybe like small buffs or something like that, but hey, who knows, right? We'll give this a shot and see what we got. So yeah, clean my hair a little bit. My hair is a mess. All right, so again, I don't expect much, but we'll see. So we're checking out Sparxie first. So far it seems the same. Seems the same. Already just looking at, I don't see anything majorly different. No, nothing there. Oh, this is different. For every one punch line currently, increase all odds creators by 8% up to max increase at 80%. Oh, was that like that before? I don't think so, right? Was that like that back in what version 1? I don't think so. No, yeah, it was, yeah, they buffed it again. Wow. Yeah, because it used to be 40%, and then they rebuffed it up to 60% in version 3, and then they buffed it again to 80% in version 5. Wow, that is a 2 times increase from what she originally had. That's crazy. That's all right. I mean, we'll take it, right? That's a free 20% crit damage for all allies, which is really good. No complaints there. And the overall, like, how much you need doesn't change at all, which is good. Okay. Yeah, this typo was in version 4, and it was so like they upgraded the H on accident, so they fixed it. Okay. Oh, E4 was buffed. Oops. E4 was buffed. Instead of 25%, it went up to 36% elation, and it lasts an extra turn. Okay. Ooh. My fault. I was eating and I didn't know my fork was. Let me get that. There we go. Alright, I mean, I finished eating already. I just forgot to bring my plate downstairs. But yeah, sure. I wouldn't say that's like much bad. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's something, it's to the point where I would say you should absolutely go for this. Oh my god, I just realized they have a lot of typos in here. There's no space here. There's no space here. Oh my god, yeah, they fumbled this. They fumbled version 4. But yeah, looking at it, I don't see anything majorly different in these. Like, this is nice, I'll take it. But I don't think it's something that I would say, like, E4 is necessary. I mean, never really will. Usually E4s are supposed to be, like, the worst of the bunch, unless it's, like, really busted, but that usually doesn't happen often, so. I mean, yeah, that's a good buff. Alright, Sparxie got on the, I mean, it's all buffing, so I don't really complain too much. Alright, Yao Gong, I assume there's nothing different with this character. I think she was already as good as she was, so let's see. What? What am I looking at? I don't... Okay, sure. Whatever you say. I couldn't tell. I really couldn't. I thought it was like, oh, it didn't have the line. And then I checked, like, no, it does. It doesn't have the line in both. So, whatever. No nerfs. I would be so shocked if they changed these guys so late at all. So we'll check. They're actually renaming a lot. Okay, so yeah, this is just rewordings. Nope. Yep, that's just rewordings. Yeah, okay, just rewordings. Okay. That's like all we'll realistically say is a bunch of rewordings. I assume nothing. Yeah, I guess they're really happy with Black Swan, which sure, I guess. We'll quickly check out light cones. We'll check out the 5-star ones. Those are the only ones that like realistically matter. No difference. That's good. Death by Flowery Worlds. That's no different. Phase Good Luck. No different. I was hoping. Mushy Shroomies Adventures. No different. Okay. And I'd be so shocked if any of these change. No. No. Okay. So, yeah, yeah, Sparxie getting another buff is actually kind of insane. She got buffed back in, if you check, back in version 3. They gave her a lot more. They took away some of her like main damage in here, but they gave her a lot more elation damage through here. They made just a lot of. They added this word. Ignore that. I believe that's supposed to be the same thing. I don't believe it. It's just I think they lowered it. I think. No, I think it's the same thing, but it's completely screwed around. They got rid of the thrill cap, which is good. They made this a little better. They buffed this. They gave her a thrill on ultimate, which is really nice. Though it is tied to how many elation catches you got, but I assume that gets better over time. But there's that. And then they made E6, I think, a little better. I think, yeah, they made it a little better, yeah. And yeah, and then they went into version 4 with no major changes. I remember that much. Yeah, they fumbled this though, which is funny. And then yeah, and then now we're here in version 5 with a nice buff, a nice 20% crit damage buff for all allies. That's pretty good. I don't have really many complaints about that. So since this is going to most likely be the last big change for these characters, I'll tell you what I think about like what the plan is for like what you should do. First and foremost, if you do not care for elation, skip these both. Yao Guang used to be a good option for knowledge teams, but they nerfed her back for that in version 3, I believe, because they found that she was like god tier for archer, and then they nerfed her down, so like that can't be the case. So I would suggest not going for this. So keep that in mind. Also for Sparxie has been confirmed by Anon Leaks to now become more of a sub DPS, which makes sense. So most likely Yai Sakura will be taking the place of main DPS when she comes out, and it's probably going to be Yai Sakura, Sparxie, Yao Guang, and then some sustain, right? I don't know if they'll drop a sustain before then, or they will just be overused like Dan Heng, but there's that. Yeah, honestly, we'll see how this all goes, but I would suggest at least getting Yao Guang. If you plan to do elation, Yao Guang is a good option. She is really strong for elation. Being able to just throw out another aha instant is insanely good. So that's always a nice pickup. Also, usually when it comes to these kind of support characters, they usually don't come back for a long while, right? And then by the time they come back around, most of the time, their team is kind of like either already has a replacement for them, or they're not that great anymore. It's usually the former rather than the latter. But I think for Yao Guang, I think when she comes back, she'll still be good. So keep that in mind. The biggest problem though, honestly, with elation is just there's just gonna be a lack of options for light cones. That's the biggest issue, right? Because these three here are specifically like you have to go out here. Like these are gacha ones, and then these are that's from the battle pass. So this one's just like okay, it's not too bad, right? But it's only when the instant is active, and then when it goes away, you just lose it. So it's not doing anything else for you. I think this one only happens when you get 10 punchline, which is not bad, right? This is not too bad, but just kind of like it takes a while, I think. I mean, for characters like what's his name, Sparxie, that's not gonna be a problem. But if there's any characters that can't easily create punchline, there's that. And then this one, I think it was specifically made for a character, right? Yeah, I mean, I would suggest probably this is more tuned to like Sparxie. Or Yao Guang, like those two can use them pretty well. There's this one, obviously, it gives crit rate and then increase the elation, which is really powerful. So we'll have to see how that goes. Obviously, these are made for the character at hand. Again, just be ready that elation is going to be in a very mediocre spot when it comes to light cones. That was the case for Remembrance. If we check the light cones for Remembrance, it took like ages for Remembrance to actually get going, right? Because that's a battle pass light cone, that's battle pass light cone, that was for highest scene, that was made for the Trailblazer, that was for a Galea, and then this is a new Trailblazer one. That was it. And then this was actually pretty solid. So our biggest hope is the free light cone from the Herda shop in the Simulated Universe. We have to hope that one's just like really good for elation characters, because this was like pretty good for a good few characters. Good speed, increased damage dealt, was really good. Problem is they just made a lot for the Trailblazer, which I don't think they needed 3 options. But yeah, everything else that was just gacha light cones, which is not fun. I assume we're getting at least 5 elation characters. I don't really like it, but that's mostly what's gonna happen. We also don't know ahead of time if that's gonna be the case. We'll have to see, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of all this. Really not. And then obviously elation is just gonna be starting off weaker. I hope we do get a 5-star light cone for free from the Her Simulated Universe shop. I hope we get another free light cone for elation. I assume we'll get one of 4.2 with the release of EMC. We'll have to see. There's just a lot of stuff we need, honestly. Also these characters. I don't know what they're gonna do with these because solely the fact they're getting buffed. So what happened last time, if I remember correctly? Jingleo, Blade, Kafka, and Silver got buffed. They put Blade into the standard banner. Well, not standard, into the 50/50 loss 5-star options for summonable characters. And then I believe they dropped both of them in like a 3-way banner with Finon, I think. If I remember correctly. They dropped in a 3-way banner with somebody. I have to look back. Actually, I can't look back. I believe I know that you dropped in 3-way banner. I just remember that for a fact. I just remember where. Let me quickly check. If I check the gotcha banners, scroll down. So they got buffed right around here. Yeah, here it is. Firefly. That's what it was. They got announced way back in 3.2, and then we figured it out in 3.4. They dropped with Finon, the same patch. Yeah. Then they dropped these two, and then they held off on the other 2 buff characters until 3.5. So since we're only getting 2 buffs, I'm more inclined to say that they're probably not going to do this again. My guess is they're going to put Black Swan into... This is a hope. They put Black Swan into the... what's it called? What's that thing called? I'm trying to think of what it's called. The item shop. The shop with every characters. Teleconvergence. That's what it is. Teleconvergence. I hope they put her into there and they rerun Sparkle in that patch. I assume they will rerun Sparkle because Sparkle is Sparxie's best partner until proven otherwise. They change it, right? So I think Sparkle will definitely be getting a rerun. I'd be so shocked if she gets put into the standard banner. I keep saying that, but it's not the case. She gets put into the list of 5 stars on 50/50 loss. It's so strange, right? But whatever. I have a hard time believing that. I really do believe she will not be put into that list. I think she will be coming back in a rerun. It will be pretty, not like too soon, but it'll be weird, right? This will be her fourth time showing up again, or 4th time showing up in general. So let's see how it goes. I think Black Swan, should go into the shop. I hope they do with Blade, and then they put her in both, they put a rerun for her, and then they put her in the thing. So if you want to go for it right then and there, now's your chance. I have no idea, because for example, Jingleo, I don't know what they'll do with Jingleo, right? Because Jingleo is not great. She is not good. So I don't know. Kafka is still usable, right? Silver is still really good support. I have no idea what to do with Jingleo. My assumption is they'll probably put her into the Select Convergence at some point down the line because they kind of have to. She's not that great. We'll have to see. But yeah, we just got the. Wait, when did we get the Topaz one? Did we get 3.7? I think so. I think it was 3.7. I can quickly check. I don't remember because Topaz came out of honestly nowhere. I really think she just came out of nowhere. So and it was just really off-putting to me when it happened. So here we go. She was added, yeah, in 3.7 with Cyrene. Okay. So then we might not get it then because it took 3 patches for that to happen. Maybe it won't happen until 4.2 then, most likely, or 4.1, because Topaz came in at the weirdest of times. She just kind of popped into existence. Hey, what's up? So I don't know, because they added the Ron May, I believe, back in when 3.0 was still getting into it. I would have to pull it up, because it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, back in Anniversary. Yeah, they added them back in Anniversary. Right here. This is where they added them. And it took 5 patches to get another one. So, I can only hope we get someone else in that shop. Because there's nothing in that shop that's worth buying. I'm gonna be real with you. Ron May has lost a lot of value. Blade is no, Blade's not in there. Sorry, his light cone's in there, but he's not in there. Lil Cha he needs a buff. And then Topaz is Follow-up Attack is dead unless proven otherwise. So I do hope they put in a new character there. I think to them it's still too early, but we'll see. Or if leaks are true, because there are rumors of saying that someone at 4.1 is going to be a dot sustain. So if that's true, she's being dropped on that patch alongside Kafka most likely. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, most likely you're going to see Sparxie and Sparkle rerun at the same time. I don't know if they'll do a 3. I would have to do a whole video on like banner guesses before the actual live stream drops. So I mean, if you want to see that, I'll do it because I'm pretty interested in seeing what it could be. But it's gonna be really weird to like actually make that video because man, I don't know who they could bring back. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. I am very happy about a Sparxie buff. It's nice. I kind of wish Yalcon got a little bit more, but it's fine. And then I'm surprised they kept Black from the way she is. That'll be it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.